All right. Hello, everybody. How we all doing? I'm going to look in the chat here, see if this is working. Welcome in. Welcome in. Hey, Tenor. How you doing? All right. It looks like we're officially live on the page, which is great. Okay, perfect. It's going. Awesome. Welcome, everyone. What's up, Prince? How you doing? Good to see you. Hope everyone's having a great day so far. We have a great session coming up on building with CDR with yours truly. So we're just gonna wait a couple minutes here. We want people to roll in. We don't want people to miss the beginning of this. And in about, I would say, 3 to 5 minutes, we'll kick things off, and we'll keep things relatively short today. It's actually going to be some talking today because we're going to be coding with AI, so we're going to be waiting a little bit, but we'll be talking. We'll have a good time, and we're going to keep it definitely under an hour. So I want to keep it short because I know that sometimes these can get a little boring the longer you go. So we'll keep it short. Super pumped for this workshop with the GOAT. Let's go, Robert CDR. What's up, Robert CDR? That's an awesome last name. That's a really awesome last name. GM, everybody. All right. What's up? Welcome, welcome. What's up, Ramses? Good to see you, my friend. Alex Crypto at Digital Nomad. GM. Hey, everybody. And GM IP. So, yes, so we are live. If you're tuning in, you're probably looking at the /live page on the build.ucdr.dev site. If for some reason that stream starts to bug, you can always go to the Story Engineering Twitter page. That's x.com/storyeng with an S/live. And you should be able to see us live on the Story Engineering page. So that's cool. I think so, at least. Yes, you can. I just checked. It's working. So yeah, just in case you get cut out. All right, we're going to wait about 1 to 2 more minutes, and then we will kick things off here. Let me go ahead and share my screen so that you don't have to just look at me, because everyone knows that's the worst. Just a couple more minutes. Welcome in, everybody. How you doing? I have you all up on my second monitor here so I can read the chat, build, code with AI. The perfect setup. What's everyone doing so far today? Anything interesting? Anything fun? Or just coding away? Which, listen, if you're just coding away, I get it. Actually, you know what? Maybe I'm going to tweet out. Let me actually also, currently at work, watching stream at the same time. Awesome. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to also stream this at the same time, or retweet this. That way people can see it on my Twitter as well. Perfect. Planning to work on my hack from today. Awesome. All right, so let's kick things off. I don't want to wait any longer. Thanks everyone for coming. As you know, this is a workshop on building with CDR. I'm going to approach this workshop, obviously, as if you're using AI, because, I imagine everyone is at this point, and that's definitely encouraged. I'm also going to approach this from the standpoint of you may not know, like you may not have done a lot of coding in the past. If you have, then you're a couple steps ahead. If not, then I'm going to help get you started. But either way, we're all going to learn how to develop with CDR, which is the most important part of this. So I actually was kind of chatting with ChatGPT. No pun intended. I was chatting, and I just wanted to come up with some CDR app ideas because I wanted to build a very simple demo with you all today. And I kind of arrived at like a very basic one, which is just like I want to make an application where a friend or somebody can upload a funny picture of themselves and just send it to another friend that only they can see. And so we're just gonna go with a very simple example today, but nonetheless, it's going to show us how to build with CDR, and that's what's most important. So let's go ahead and do that. But first, what are the first steps you need to take when building with CDR? So let's actually walk through that. Down at the bottom of the build.usecdr.dev page that you know and love, there are a lot of example resources. So we have the CDR SDK docs, which I've already pulled up on my screen here. This is a full list of documentation for everything CDR related, how to build with it, et cetera. And, I find that just simply pointing AI to these docs is very, very helpful. We also have the CDR agent skill and examples, which I've pulled up here. This is a couple full end-to-end examples of encrypting and decrypting with CDR. The first one uses text, so encrypting like a sentence, then decrypting the sentence. The second one's a file, so encrypting a file and then decrypting a file. The third one is text, but instead of the read condition just being a simple address, it's a license. So in order to encrypt or decrypt the file with CDR, we need to set write and read conditions. These are conditions that specify who can actually read this data. For example, that's the read condition. And the read condition can be as simple as an address, right? If we put an address, then that just means that only that wallet can decrypt it. If we put a smart contract that implements a certain interface, we can put any custom logic. So we can say you have to own a license token on Story, or it's only available for 7 days, or you have to trade on this DeFi protocol, right? Anything that is available on chain can be gated. And then the fourth one is a file example, but using a centralized storage provider. So the first three use a decentralized storage provider called Helia, I'm not really sure. The fourth one uses a centralized one. So it goes to show you CDR does not take any preference on the storage solution. It's just the encryption and decryption part. So there's a lot of different examples for you based on where you want to store the data. We got some questions like, oh, does it matter where I store the data? No, it doesn't. You can store it on IPFS, decentralized. You can store it on Supabase. You can store it on Amazon Web Services. You can store it wherever the heck you want. And so all these examples are here. Now, in the old days, I would say, oh, well, this is perfect for you to just kind of walk through and look at the examples. And it is. But again, because of AI now, I would literally just link this to AI and it will just know how to do it. So that's pretty cool. Lastly, there's also a skill here about building with CDR. I would definitely check this skill out as well. And also there's instructions in the README on how to just add that skill to your project so that your agent can just add the skill and know how to do everything for you, which is awesome. So those are the main resources I would check out. We also have like a live demo, app example, the white paper, launch blog, and whatever. You can point your AI agent to the CDR white paper or the blogs, for example, but those are more conceptual and not developers. So, if you want to get answers question, if you want to get your questions answered about broad conceptual CDR concepts, you can use these two. But for developing, I think the ones that I showed you are definitely the best. So with that being said, let's just take all that talk and let's actually dive into development. So how do we actually make an app? So usually, and this is just my workflow outside of CDR, this is how I sort of develop any app, and you can ask AI to do this, but I usually just look up create empty Next.js project. And I literally just click on this first link here. You can also just copy it from what that was right there. NPM. And we're just going to copy this, right? Boom. So I'm going to go in my terminal here and actually I'm going to clear this out and just make a new directory called, workshop test. And I'm going to go into workshop test here, and I'm going to copy this command. And so I'm just going to delete these few options. And if I put a period here, it's actually going to open up this new Next.js project in my folder. So I'm just going to run that command and then just press yes through everything. Now, what we're doing right now is we're creating an empty Next.js project, which is basically just like an empty scaffold project that we can use to then, create our own application. Again, you can just open Claude and just say, like make me a new application. But that just like wastes tokens in my opinion. And anywhere that you can save tokens is better, right? Because it obviously costs money. So now we've done that, and I'm actually going to open this up in Cursor, which is my code editor. And inside of Cursor now, we can see that it made all these files for me, which is great. And actually, I think, let's just run npm install, which should install all the dependencies. I think it's already installed, though. And then if I run npm run dev, I'm actually going to increase this font a little bit so you guys can see it. Hopefully that's a little better, actually. Let's increase a little bit more. So this way you guys can really see what's going on here. If I run npm run dev now, it's going to open up this project on localhost 3000. And we should see that we now have an actual application running on our computer. So, that again, I just did that manually because it saves tokens, right? Which is nice. And obviously now we have our project running. And if I were to go into the code here, and let me also increase the, font here. If I were to go into the code and I was to change something in the page, let's say I was to say, Jacob is super cool, just add some random text there. We'll see that here now, right? Jacob is super cool. So clearly it's working. The updates are happening. And if we make code changes, it changes in the actual project too, which is great. So now let's actually, come up with our own project here. So what I'd like to do is I'm going to open up a new terminal window and open Claude. So when I develop, I usually do two things. I usually use Claude for anything front-end design related. So when I'm starting a new project, I'll usually use Claude because Claude is really good at creativity and just sort of like thinking outside the box and also design. And I like to, when I first create my project, I usually, because I have a bit of a design sense and I like design to sort of shape the end product a little bit, which is obvious, but I like to sort of design things out before actually coming up with a full scope of my project because it helps me think through what are the cool possibilities. So that's why I like to use Claude, again, for design and creativity. But for actual implementation, I usually like to use Codex because Codex, in my opinion, is way cheaper and also way smarter. Codex is actually a way better agent. But again, Claude is better for design. So that's why we're using it. So inside of Claude Code now, we can kind of do whatever we want, right? So I'm just going to start typing to it. I'm going to say, hey, Claude, I want to make a new app. Right now, the current folder is just an empty Next.js project. I want to make an app where a friend can encrypt a file, specify another friend's wallet address as the and then only that wallet address can decrypt the file. For decryption, we will use CDR. I'm going to include all the documentation related to CDR below. So actually, I'm already thinking here, instead of pasting this in Claude, maybe what we can do instead is just go into our cursor project here, and I'm going to make like an instructions.md folder and paste the instructions here. This way, the reason I do that is because if you do it in the prompt, sometimes, if you send the prompt or it fails or you make a new terminal window, it actually like will get lost, right? Whereas here we kind of like know what we ran. So, and it's also helpful just to like better list things out than like a terminal interface. So CDR documentation. And I'm just going to list all the files or all the links. So this is, I'm just going to paste the link to the CDR docs. I'm going to do that for a couple of these because why not? Let's just do it for all the CDR docs right here. And I'm also thinking that we could probably install the CDR skill, right? So those are some CDR docs. I'm also going to paste all the examples that are in here, this source folder. And before we do this, I'm also going to, install the CDR skill that we talked about before. So inside of this CDR skill repo, we can copy this command. And I'm going to go back into my terminal here, and I'm going to paste that command in my project. And hopefully this works. Let's see. So it's saying, where do you want to add it to? Codex is listed, cursor. So Claude Code is not enabled. So we want to enable. Oh, whoops. How do I go back? Wait, let's try that again. I think I have to press tab, right? How do I select one? Does anyone know? In the terminal interface, how do you actually select that? Oh, space select. Okay. Well, it said the instructions right there. So I selected Claude Code. Again, the reason is because I'm actually using Claude Code, right? So I definitely want Claude to be accepted. The reasoning for this, by the way, is because Claude is so annoying. And they actually, instead of abiding by the normal universal standard, which is the .agents folder, they had to make a .claude folder. So you have to actually also specify them because otherwise your Claude agent won't know how to recognize the skill. So I selected Claude Code. I'm going to press enter now to confirm. And I just want to install it in this project because I'm not going to worry about global for now. And we're just going to enter through the rest of this. Done. So if we go back into our project, we should see a .agents folder now with skill, which is great. Now I'm looking at this and I'm seeing that for some reason it didn't do a .claude folder. Symlinks Claude Code. Okay, well we'll see if this works, I guess. Yeah, I guess we'll see if this works because I don't see a .claude folder, but it says it did it, so we'll just hope. Okay, so now that we have that, we have pretty much everything we need, right? We have all the documentation. We have our agent skill. And by the way, does anyone have any questions so far? Am I going too fast? Or are people like kind of following? I feel like it's kind of simple, right? I think it's pretty simple. Okay. If I see any questions come up, I'll make sure to answer them. Okay, so what do we say? I want to make a new app. Right now, the current folder is just empty next to this project. I want to make an app where our friend can encrypt a file, can let's say upload a file, specify another friend's wallet address. We'll say blockchain stuff. And then only that wallet address can decrypt the file. For encryption and decryption, we will use CDR. I'm going to include all the documentation related to CDR below. This includes not only documentation, but also a literal example code of exactly how to do this. It should be on Story and testnet. We will need the user to log in with MetaMask or some wallet. Cool. What else do we need? So we want someone to upload a file, specify wallet address. Oh yeah, for the CDR read condition, as specified in the CDR agent skill, just use the user's wallet address as the read condition. They are the only person who can read the file. Okay, I mean, let's just see what happens with that, honestly. So I'm just going to say, actually, first of all, can you detect the skill in this project for building with CDR? Let's see if Claude can even detect it. Because usually you do need a .claude folder, which I'm not seeing. Oh, you know what? Currently available to me via the skill tool in this session. The system runner only exposes built-in user skills of the config. Okay, you know why? I think it's because, yeah, you know what we're going to do? Let's actually do this right now. I'm going to try this command one more time. just to see. Claude code, yeah. Enter. Let's see. Did it do it now? No. I don't know why. Maybe you have to select. I think it's like bugging out or something, because actually usually this works. But you know what we'll do? Actually, we will we'll do this project copy to all agents. Okay, there we go. Now it does the Claude folder. I don't know. That's weird. I never have to do that, but we'll now it has the Claude folders. That's cool. Okay. So now it can do it. So now we're going to do /clear to start over. Okay, so please look at instructions and let me know if you have any questions. One thing I'm also going to specify is in the instructions is I don't want a database for this project. Too complicated for now. Just do it all locally. And the design should be minimalistic and friendly. Cool. Let's see what happens. It's so funny. It's like now with hackathons, right? It's like you used to spend so much time having to learn how to code with the new tech. But now it's just like, boom, paste the docs. Sorry, I'm yawning because we actually had this same workshop we had this morning at 6 a.m. Korean workshop. Whose wallet address should be the CDR recondition, the uploader or the recipient? Okay, the friend. Okay, so the friend whose address the uploader types in matches the top lines. Yes, we want the recipient's wallet. How should the recipient access a file someone shared with them? After upload, the app gives the uploader a vault ID or shareable URL they can send to the friend out of band. Friend opens in, connects wallet, decrypts it. Single user view of own files. Logged in user sees a list of files where they are a recipient. Okay, no, I actually kind of like the first one. One, because it's not going to need a database. If we do the second one, it's going to need a database because we're going to have to store all the users' vaults. So, which it doesn't know that yet, but I already do. But the first one is simple because when we encrypt the file, it's going to give us back the ID of the vault, which is what the like basically like what represents the encrypted file. And so it's going to give us back that URL, but it's not going to have to save that anywhere, right? Because I can just then go and link to that vault, and it's going to take that vault ID in the URL and just fetch it and know all the information from there. So it's actually a lot easier to do the first one. Wallet connection library, Rainbow Kit plus WAGMI, plain room Ethereum. So I guess that's, yeah, let's use Rainbow Kit, right? Why not? Yeah, screw it. The only reason I don't want to use Rainbow Kit is because I think we're going to need an API key for that, but it is what it is. Got it. One more thing. The project is on Next.js 16, which my instruction flag is having breaking changes. When I know, I'll read the local. Okay, whatever. Plan in short. Read the bundle, blah, blah. Add dependencies. Wire up wallet connect with story in a testnet. Upload page, file picker, recipient address field. Encrypt via CDR with the recipient address as recondition. Return a shareable URL containing the vault IPFS reference. View page at the shareable URL, connects wallet, attempts CDR decrypt, downloads the file if authorized, minimal tailwind styling. Yes, please. Sweet. We're off to the races, guys. What should we do in the meantime? Flappy Bird? Do a dance? You guys remember the Fortnite dance still? That's the default Fortnite dance. Or I do know my crump stomp and backward step. I learned that from Prince. This is what you guys get in the live coding workshop. What's up, Ranjit? Tuning in from Twitter. How you doing? Good to see you here. Oh, so actually, one thing that's pretty helpful is actually, I'm going to leave it for now because I'll show you when it comes up. But sometimes in Claude, yeah. See, here we go, right? So it asks me for permission to do something. So I'm going to say yes, but I'm actually going to shift tab until I get to auto mode. You see that? So now that I'm in auto mode, Claude, I mean, I guess it's dangerous, but like whatever. Auto mode makes it so that Claude will decide if the command is dangerous or not. And if it is not dangerous, it'll just auto accept it. And if it is dangerous, it'll ask you. So I like it because I can just kind of run it and it'll just go, right, for the most part, unless there's like an actual, like a high risk command. Thank you for the support of the Chrome movement. Of course. I'm very inspired by your passion. In the meantime, I wonder if I have to set up a Rainbow Kit project, but hopefully not. Because I don't want to do that. But I mean, it's not that it's hard. Also, for what it's worth, I would highly recommend using Dynamic or Privy. Those are like the two leaders, I think, right now, especially because, well, number one, we have a really good relationship with Dynamic, but Privy is also great. They recently had like the whole Stripe acquired them, I think. So that's a pretty legit signal. And also the reason I love Dynamic and Privy is because they both have gas sponsorship. So and also like email sign in, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure Rainbow has that too, but like gas sponsorship is really awesome because your user, like you can configure it so that your users don't have to pay for gas, right? So like Web2 users who want nothing to do with wallets can easily pay for transactions just by clicking a button and your app covers it. I think it's actually called sponsored trans. Yeah, it's called just sponsored transactions. I'm using Privy. Perfect. Yeah, that's great. I'm just using Rainbow Kit in this just to like get the simplest example up, but I would definitely recommend Privy or Dynamic. Yeah. Actually, if you go to scroll the app that I built, this is using Privy. So when you click on continue with Google here, you can actually see that's their logo right there. So I'm using Privy here, but I use Dynamic for other projects too. So it's kind of just like what your preference is. Yeah, exactly, Ranjit. Totally agree. Totally agree. In fact, we can even probably ask Claude to switch over to Privy if we want. As you can see, our project is ripping. Actually, you probably could have just asked it for Privy at first. Guys, this is the last workshop of the hackathon. Are you so sad? There was only like 3. It's build time. It's build time. It's crunch time. There's no time to waste on these silly workshops. What are you guys building in the chat? I know what Ranjit's building. Prince, are you working on like a healthcare project? Ship time. Let's go. Oh, we can show comments on stage. Ooh. I like that. That's cool. Build and learn time, new tech. I'm debating on dance or healthcare. Both. How about the... Actually, I don't know how you would combine both. I'll turn that back off so that people can see the screen. Ooh, that's the app. Nice. For some reason, I can't copy it. Oh, look at that. That's cool. I can put your comment on the screen. Here, let's put Ramses ship time. True. You guys can see that, right? Build time. Ooh, look, let's do this. Privy is awesome. Privy, sponsor me. Sponsor my stream. All right, it's testing end to end the browser. I wonder, can we see its progress? Ooh. Here's the progress so far. I probably should have specified that I wanted like a whole app. Like I wanted like a landing page experience. Because it just kind of like made a demo, right? But like that's cool. We'll test the functionality first. Actually, it's probably a good idea to do that anyway. Let's see which use better. No, I like the other one better. Yeah. It looks like we do have a object. Interesting. It's probably going to fix that right now. What have you guys been using for development? Claude or Codex? Or Cursor? Or Gemini? Could be a whole mix of stuff. Oh, Lovable. Yeah, Lovable's great. I did use Cursor initially and imported Level. Oh, nice. Does Lovable like understand CDR and all that? Like, was it able to actually get like real CDR integration? Like, is it actually working? Okay, the app is built. The dev server is running. What's there? Connect wallet. Nice. Wallet connect. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna actually quit this out, and I'm gonna install again just to make sure. Oh, we got an issue. Oh, of course it's Rainbow Kit. Okay, you know what? I knew it was gonna be wrong. Okay, so actually, please gut out Rainbow Kit and just use Privy instead. Thank you. Yeah, every time I use Rainbow Kit, there's like a dependency issue. So I'm so over it that I just want to use Privy instead. And also, I would much rather use Privy if most people were using that anyway. It's a better example for you guys. Claude and VS Code IDE for build, Codex for debugging devices. Nice. Yeah, I'm hoping this fixes that issue in the front end. You're very polite with Claude. Listen, I'm telling you, I really think it's going to make a difference. You have to be polite. A, you don't want them killing you, and B, it's just good. It's good, like juju or voodoo. If you're mean, it rebels and gives you the finger. So actually, you know what? While it's switching that out, because that doesn't really matter, let's go in and look at the CDR implementation. So we can see, okay, look, so it actually read from the example, right? So it's creating the new Helia instance, which is like what we use to store. Inside of CDR, let's see what it's doing. So it makes a CDR client, which is cool. And actually, if we go to this, we can see that. Does this get to the? Oh yeah, there it is. CDR client, testnet, public client, wallet client, API URL, all things that are here too. API URL, upload encrypted file, gets the provider, encrypts the file, uploads, allocate with the recondition address as the recipient address, right? And then encrypt data key, write. These are all things that if we go back to our example, this is what I was talking about, right? Or in the file example, right? We can see Helia provider, encrypt file, upload, allocate, encrypt data key, write, right? These are all things that came directly from our example. So that's why it's great. Wait, what is that? What is that structure you made? I just typed it back. Still have one issue in this page. Oh, I bet I don't fix that. Yep, it just fixed that. See? Done. Privy's the goat. It's arrow up. Oh. Oh, I have to start it again. One sec. Nice. Missing Privy app. Okay, we got to do that now, right? So let's go to Privy. Actually, let me do this off screen because I just want to make sure that I don't share any of my other projects like Scroll. I got to get a code from my email to log into Privy. Here we go. Okay, logged in. All right, cool. Okay, I have nothing to worry about here. Cool. So I'm going to create a new app. I'm going to call this Workshop Test CDR. It's for the web. Let's create the app. Here we go. App ID. We'll paste that in here. So let's go back to our .env. Actually, what does it say? Let's go to the. It'll probably tell us actually. Okay. What changed? Blah 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 blah. One thing you have to do: grab a Privy app ID and put it in .env.local. So let's do that together. Let's make a new file. .env.local, and we need to put what's it called? Next public Privy app ID, and that is right here. And let's just do the app secret anyway. Privy, in case we need it, right? Privy app secret. Boom. There's the app ID and app secret. We put those both in there, and now we're going to stop this again. We're going to install. Hopefully it works because the issue is RainbowKit. It does work. Screw you, RainbowKit. And we're going to go back, and we should see. Oh, I forgot that sometimes actually Claude will spin up its own server because it wants to test by itself. So when you go to run your server, it'll tell you, you have to kill this other one to actually run yours. Okay, boom. Here we go. Let's log in. We can continue with a wallet. I'm going to log in with my test wallet here. This is where I keep all my test wallets. And we're going to sign in. And it works amazingly because I love Privy so much. We're going to put a recipient address. So the address I'm actually going to put, we're going to put mine. So we're going to copy my test address here, paste it in there. And then the file, we're actually going to use a file that I took just for this workshop, which is this file. So we're going to use this as our secret image for our friends. Okay, this is what we're going to send to our friends. So once we do that, oh wait, why can't I encrypt and send? What do I still need? Okay, this might be a bug. Let's try one more time. Okay, so we're gonna tell that to Claude. When I paste in a address and upload file, the encrypt and send button is still disabled. Let's see why. Actually, maybe because it was trying to upload it to IPFS and there was an error. No. By the way, what I did is I right clicked, clicked inspect, and went to console. And in console, you can sometimes see errors, and you can paste them back to Claude, or like even here, like usually sometimes errors will print in your server, but I don't see any errors, so it's clearly not a client or server issue. So it must just be, or error, I should say. So it's got to be some issue in the code. I'm surprised that Claude didn't catch that earlier. That seems like very trivial. Oh, maybe I'm not in the right chain. No, I think I am. Okay, let's see. It might have fixed something. Let's see. Refresh the page if you're on the wrong chain. You'll now get a banner with a switch network button. Okay, let's see. Let's try it again. Oh, can we log out actually? Okay, we'll log back in. Oh, it's network Ethereum. Huh, that doesn't seem right at all. When I log in, it's asking me to log into Ethereum, not the ANID network. Is there any info you need from me on the ANID network? Interesting. Oh, you know why, actually? It's probably because in the app settings, oh, wait. Or do I have to configure something on the privy side? Actually, you know what's kind of cool? I'll show you this. You can, oh, website kind of messed it up. But you can use the /by-the-way command, and that runs a question while Claude is running. So like if you have Claude running and you want to ask it a question, you can run the /by-the-way, and then, yes, it's a Privy dashboard thing. Privy only allows wallets to operate on chains you've added. The supported chains you've added, okay. In the Privy dashboard, your app networks chains in the sidebar. So let's see, networks and chains. Wallets, authorization, home, networks. Weird. Previous. I feel like something's definitely wrong here. Domains, privy, home, clients, advanced. Terms of privacy, webhook integration, wallets, policies, earn, gas sponsorship. Oh, authentication. Here we go. Maybe this is it. External wallets. Let users sign in with third-party wallets. This includes browser extension, hardware, mobile app wallets. You can figure, okay, EVM wallets, yeah. Automatically create embedded wallets and log in. Socials, MFA, advanced. Account funding, global wallet. I don't know. This is super weird. I feel like I've never had this much of an issue with it before. Why does it keep asking me for Ethereum? Oh, whoops. Let's copy this. Say, I don't think that's actually true. I don't see that anywhere. Also, I'm seeing this error on the client. Maybe if we fix this error, it'll fix it. But that's weird. So let's see. How is it currently asking us to log in right now? Providers. Oh, so where's it getting that from? Oh, that's from VM/chains. Huh. Default chain story init. Maybe if we get it from You know what? Let's try to go to our other application here. Let's go to client. Where does it get the network from? Oh, it's just there. How about with let's I don't know. That's super weird. Account. Okay. Yeah, we'll go back. See if this fixes it. Start with the dashboard. Let me retry the previous source custom change directly via sport change company passing code. New dashboard step is required. Okay. Once you're connected to switch network point, I had it in the previous step. Should switch mode to story needed. Okay. So connect via whatever about the keyword that's coming from source. It's not asking me to switch networks. What's so annoying actually is back in the day, you used to be able to automatically switch your MetaMask config. Like I could go in here and switch it to story testnet myself. But now they changed the interface, so you can't do that anymore, which is like extremely annoying. I mean, obviously I have it here. Oh, well, never mind. It might be on the right one. Let's see. It's asking me to paste what it put there. As you can see, this is modern development. Begging AI to help. Actually, yeah, it's funny. I guess, ironically enough, the CDR part is pretty simple. All right, let's try one more time. And let's go here. Let's copy our address. Yes, and it works. Okay, cool. We'll encrypt and send. We're going to send that with test IP. We'll see what happens. Hopefully it works. It says encrypting and sending. Failed to fetch. Let's see what happened. Console. Access to blah blah has been blocked by course policy. No access control is allowed in the requested resource. Access to fetch has been blocked by course. Okay. Let's try and fix that together. Let's try that one more time, and then we'll actually. Do we see that in the client too, or here? Okay, we do. Okay. That's good that we have it there. We're gonna try that one more time, and then we're gonna paste the arrows to Claude. I think the reason is because. Oh. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna paste this to Claude. I'm actually gonna screenshot this. Oh, do I not have clean shit? No, I should have clean shit here. Hold on one sec. Okay. Let's try that again. Okay. We're getting an error. Sorry guys, I'm on like a new Mac, so it's some of my stuff's not configured. Okay, we're getting an error on the encryption part after I click the button and send transaction. I'm just gonna copy this instead. And have it fix. Oh, you know what I actually do want to check though too is in the story API URL, which should be in lib and CDR. What is this API URL right here? It's in our config. Okay, yeah, that should be right. Well, wait, is that right actually? API URL? I don't think that's right. Wait, what? Oh, proxy through Next.js bytecode. Oh, okay. It actually just did that. I was so confused. I was like, wait, that's not what I put. Okay, it's just doing that because it's doing it through a local API now, actually, to bypass CORS. Okay. We'll see if that works. Okay, cool. We'll paste our address again. Upload our file. Encrypt and send. Confirm. Pray Claude fixed it. Nice, good sign. Another transaction. And done. So now it says drop ready, share this link with the recipient. We're going to copy this and paste it in another browser as if we were sharing it with a friend. And now we're going to decrypt and download. So again, we're logged in as the address that we set as the read condition. So only this address should be able to read this. So if I decrypt and download it, we're going to confirm that. And hopefully we're able to see the file that was stored on IPFS and then encrypted via CDR. And no other address would be able to do this, which is really cool. Even though it's stored on CDR too, because what's actually stored on CDR is just the like key that's used to encrypt it. Pass must be okay. Oh, I think this is like a Next.js error actually. I got this error when I'm gonna say nice. That worked. Great job. Okay, now we want to decrypt, and I'm getting this error. Let's see if it cooks. See, we got 9 minutes left, so we should almost be there. We should make it in time. Oh, pinning to 13. Okay, cool. I'm actually willing to bet that if we had done this via Codex, it could have been done actually in one shot, but alas. Let's see. Come on, Claude. Actually seeing a lot of failed GET requests in the console, which isn't the best look, but hopefully. I'm also curious, actually, if we go back to our thing here, did it console log the IPFS in the CID? No, it didn't. Oh, it asked me to restart the dev server. Oh, maybe we gotta try that actually. Didn't even read the instructions. I think actually also if it takes too long to decrypt, I think there's a timeout eventually. We can also probably go to the network tab and see all these requests coming in. Well, actually, I'm seeing mostly success now. Not found. Partial decryption session not found. We'll see. My next step would be to ask Codex. Access to fetch at from origin is blocked by quarters. No access. Okay, so that's actually an important error because it actually did get it. I think. Phantom. Oh, Phantom's blocking it. My wallet. Okay, that's funny. I think one of my Chrome extensions is actually blocking it. Okay, so I'm gonna say, I'm gonna actually copy all this and just say, I think there was an issue fetching via IPFS. We may have to do that on server and download on server and then send to client. I don't know. You tell me. So I think what's happening is this IPFS, as you can see, it tried to fetch this IPFS endpoint, and IPFS is where we're storing the key that like the client encryption key that decrypts the file, but it's being blocked by one of my wallets actually in my Chrome extension. So I think if we instead run it on the server, like we get fetch on the server, download it on the server, and then send it to the client, it'll be fixed. But I think maybe Claude will give us a better option. Use Pinata. No, server side. So, okay, so actually, I would use Pinata in a real example because it's just easier. But I'm using Helia because that's the example that we have in our like test code. But you could easily use Pinata. Actually, I use Pinata for pretty much everything I do IPFS wise. Wait. Oh, okay. It was talking about Pinata, but I was like confused because I answered Helia, but it's doing that now. Learning a lot. Oh, I'm glad. I'm really glad to hear that, Prince. Yeah, I mean, I think as you can see here, it's kind of just I think you know what? I think even though we're getting I learned to use Pinata thanks to your oh, that's great. Yeah, I think even though we're seeing a lot of errors here, I actually think this is like funny enough the best kind of workshop to get because like this is exactly what you're going to run into, and also like all software development now is bugging actually, which is kind of weird to think about, but like coding in today's world is just debugging. Like there's no such thing as like coding anymore really. It's just like how do I take AI and help debug it to a point where I can get it to work. So it told me to retry both encryption. Oh, here we go. Let's see. So it is trying to download something. Oh, maybe on the server I'm going to get an error. Oh, here we go. Error. Let's just paste this. We'll copy this in. So now that it's all on the server, I'm actually going to get the error directly from the server, which is just running locally on my terminal. Oh, God. Once it starts doing this, oh, my God. Once it starts doing that, I get worried because that means that there's some, like, package dependency thing. All I want to see is my stupid face on the screen. Again, oh, same error. Interesting. Okay, let's go back. That's a different error, at least. It's a 502 instead of a 500. So I guess we fixed the previous one. It's going to be 11 in 1 minute, and I think the website's auto-configured to move the live thing downward. So you're not going to, you might be like jolted in a second. It might move like down the page. Okay. Decrypt and download. Let's try it out. Come on. It looks like we might have to make some improvements on the client side. Because I think actually on the server, it's very easy, right? Like you can actually see in these examples here, like these are all on the server. So it's using just like a private key and just like not actually client accounts. And here the examples are very straightforward. Like, there's file encryption. This all works. But I've noticed some people are getting issues with client side because of this like local host cores issue. So I'm actually going to, after this, I'm going to ask about that because yeah, it could obviously be made better. I think it's still loading actually. Maybe not. If this doesn't work, then I'm going to actually go here and I'm going to say encrypt file. Actually, I'm just going to paste this here, but I'm going to keep waiting. Let's try it one more time. Try one more time to see. See, what's funny is it's actually immediately getting back. You can see here, it's actually immediately getting back the IPFS endpoint. So it's not a CDR issue at all. It's actually a Helia like storage provider issue. Oh, here. Oh, this is frustrating. Let's see. Next static. Yeah, this is annoying. I think this will require me to this is it's an issue with Helia. I think we would have to use a different storage provider. I'm gonna try one last thing. Can you please try to just follow this example? It's on the server, but works perfectly fine. Just follow this exact code for encrypt, decrypt, and just do it on the server here if you have to. All right, we'll try this one. If it doesn't work, then we'll end the session there, because again, it's actually, I know it seems like it's not working, but it's actually fetching the CDR key. It's just an issue with the storage provider. But this is really good learning, actually, because maybe I need to have a better example with client code. Maybe I should publish like a quick start for that, actually. That way people can point their agent to like some client code. I guess while this is loading, the last thing I do want to talk about here is so in terms of storage providers, right? You can actually see that in the example code here. Actually, let me pull it up locally. In the example code here, we are using Helia, and you can see that there's a it creates like a storage object, and that storage object you upload, right? You get the CID, you then encrypt that CID and publish it in CDR, and later you take that storage provider that you got from Helia, and you actually pass it to download file, which is like a CDR function to download it. And what it's doing is it's reading on chain the read condition, right, which we already passed, getting that CID, and then it's taking the storage and actually fetching the client key from storage. But this storage is just an interface. So, for example, with Supabase, you can make your own Supabase provider here, just like I did, and all you have to do is implement the storage provider interface that's exposed by the CDR SDK. And if you do that, you just have to make an upload and download function. And so if we go down here, you can see we make a storage object from Supabase provider that implements that interface. We upload, right, just like we saw with Helia. If we go up, we upload storage here, and then later, when we pass the storage to the storage provider, this download file function, if I was to go into the CDR SDK, it's actually calling download. It's actually calling the download that we implemented up here. And so you can really pass any storage provider, which is why I say that in this client example, I could easily just use Pinata, and Pinata would probably work, because maybe Healy is just for backend, which is why it's actually being buggy. So maybe if I update the example, if I update the skill and say use something like Pinata for client, maybe it'll work better. But we'll see. It keeps stopping. I don't know why. Maybe it's just taking too long. We could also try to restart. Let's see. If you have to go at this point, obviously I totally understand. I'm solving this purely out of frustration at this point. Okay. What does this mean? Oh, there we go. Save your downloads. Oh, it worked. Perfect. I guess it worked. I guess the reason was because something had. I guess we had to just restart the flow, but it worked now. Oh, that's nice. Okay, cool. Well, I'm so glad that we figured that out. So just to wrap things up here, just for fun, can you create a landing page out of this that looks beautiful, and then put the app portion at /app. Just to wrap this up here so that we walk away feeling good about ourselves, I'm just going to make like a little landing page here. And then, it's obviously going to look terrible, but at least, we'll feel like we made an app during today's workshop. Again, that's just like a very, very simple app, I guess, right? Just encrypting a file, making it so that only the recipient can read from it. And then just saving the file to our computer, which is pretty cool. So that just just save the file right to our computer. And yeah, so that is that's pretty much, I guess, building with CDR. Again, it's the actual building with CDR part is very straightforward. It's literally just like pasting the documentation, which is right here, and the skill. And as long as you have those two, CDR will work very well, right? The issue that we ran in today was actually due to the storage provider, which we ended up fixing, which is great. But I actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I might even, I might actually update the skill to include something about that so that you guys don't run into that same issue. But look at this. This is pretty cool. So now we have our own little hackathon project, right? Send a file to one wallet, end-to-end encrypted file drops gated by an on-chain access policy. Only the wallet you choose can decrypt. No one else, not even us. And so you can either send a drop, which takes you to the drop page, or you can see how does it work, and it takes you to the documentation. Pretty cool. Super simple, right? So that's coding with CDR. Does anyone have any remaining questions while you're still here, or while I'm still here? Sorry, I know we went a little overboard today. Hopefully this was helpful to some degree. All right, cool. Well, if there's no questions, I will see you all in the next one. Thanks so much for tuning in. And this was the last, this was actually the last workshop of the CDR Hackathon. So, yeah, let's see. Do we have developer office hours? So I think I'm gonna schedule developer office hours on Tuesday of next week. That way, people that have any questions about their project can come and ask questions live on Tuesday in Discord. So we'll do that in Discord. So I'll see you all then. Good luck building. If you have any questions, let me know in Discord in the meantime. And I'm always happy to get feedback and help you solve any errors. There's been a bunch of teams already that have had questions about their ideas or building, and I'm always happy to answer. So let me know in the Discord, and good luck building this weekend and next week. I really look forward to judging all your projects. Awesome. All right. See you, everybody.